Hey, what's going on, my friend Tasche here, and today I'll be doing my review of HQWebinar. Now, HQWebinar is the world's first decentralized peer-to-peer blockchain webinar platform. Now, what that means is that with HQWebinar, you're not going to be dependent upon a third-party server to do your webinars. You're not going to be dependent upon a third-party server like with GoToWebinars or any other popular webinar services out there. You're not going to be piggybacking off YouTube. Okay, it's peer-to-peer, meaning that it's going to go directly from you to your audience member, to your recipient, without any interference or mediation with a third-party server. Okay, the benefit of that is that your webinars won't go down because of a server outage. Okay, so today, in this video, we're going to talk about the product. We're going to do a demo of the software. We're also going to talk about the front-end product and the one-time offers that you'll be offered during in the sales funnel. We're also going to talk about the bonuses I'll be giving you. And then we're going to talk about the pros and cons, because I feel that a product review is not complete unless you're going to talk about not just the good, but also the bad about the product, okay? Because no product is perfect. So in a review, I want to make sure that I'm giving you my thoughts on what I feel is good and what I feel is not so good about a product, okay? So as you can see here, I'm not showing the sales page, because normally I like to show a sales page when I do a review first. This way, because I like to see how a vendor, how a product creator is, how they're depicting their product to the potential customer. Okay, to someone who's considering picking up the product. And I'm not doing that today because the sales page is not ready yet. Okay, but I wanted to make sure I get this review out to you as soon as possible, because this is a product that I feel is going to change the game as far as webinars are concerned. So no sales page review today. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit about the features of the product, and then we're going to go ahead and do a demo of the software, of the platform. Then after that, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the front end product and the one-time offers. Then we're going to go over the bonuses, and then we're going to talk about the pros and cons, and then we're going to close out the review. Okay, so the software is, as I said, I'm reading off my blog review here. It is the world's first peer-to-peer blockchain-based decentralized webinar platform. Okay, so you're not going to be dependent upon a third-party server, as in other services where if the server goes down, your webinars are going to suffer, the quality is going to suffer. You're not going to be using YouTube or Google Hangouts in Air, so you're not going to have that 30-second lag in between, because when you're using YouTube Live as an example, using YouTube Live or Google Hangouts in Air, you are not actually live. Okay, there's a 30-second delay between the time you broadcast and the time your audience actually receives what you're showing and saying. So you're never actually live on that platform. Now, HQWebinar has a lot of different features with it, but the most powerful, as I said, is the decentralization. Okay, no need for a third-party server. As long as at least 2 nodes or 2 computers are on the network, okay, your webinars will never go down. Okay, it's the same technology that's used in crypto blockchain, Bitcoin. The same technology. Okay, decentralized. Some of the features, and I got them listed right here. I'm going to be reading them off. Some of the features of HQWebinar. You can have multiple coordinators, so you're not limited to just 1 or 2. You can have up to 15 co-coordinators. Up to 15 coordinators on each webinar. You can add multimedia to your webinars. You can send out You can send out reminders to your attendees. Excuse me. There's no delay, as no lag time as you'd have with YouTube Live and Google Hangouts in Air. It's in true HD, true high definition. Smooth screen sharing. You can share a full screen or even just parts of a screen, however you want to do it. There's an instant chat option. There's a waiting lounge for your audience, which is pretty cool. So let's say your webinar is going to start at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern, and people start gathering before the webinar. There's a little waiting room where you can actually have where they can sit there and wait, but they can also go through different information that you might have for them before the webinar. It kind of helps you. One thing you can do with that is kind of pre-sell the material and the content that you're going to have on the webinar. That's a pretty cool feature right there. You can have recorded events. You can have replays as well. You get detailed stats. They use a revolutionary serverless BDN, okay, which means no third-party server needed for this. and it seamlessly integrates with a lot of popular third-party services. Services like PayPal, MailChimp, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, iContact, Infusionsoft, SendLane, Aweber, Constant Contact, Benchmark, One Shopping Cart, and Zapier, or Zapier, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And I believe they're going to be integrating with more in the future. So, again, peer-to-peer goes from you to your audience member. No interruptions or intermediaries between the two of you. No third-party server to deal with. No lives from YouTube, anything like that. So it's completely different. I think it's going to flip the whole webinar industry around. Okay. Now, the front-end product and the OTA, actually, we'll get ahead in a second. Let's go ahead and do a demo of the software, okay? And then after that, we're going to talk about the front-end product and the one-time offers. Then we'll get into the bonuses and the pros and cons, and then we're going to close it out, okay? So let's go ahead and do that demo. I'll be back in just a second.
Hello friends, welcome to HQ webinar demo session. In this demo session, I'm going to show you how to create, share, and host your webinars. And further, how can you monetize your webinars on this platform. So we start with the login screen. Here I'll put in my credentials. For you, it will be your credentials. So we put in our email ID, password, and login, and land on this page. So on this page, you'll see right on top there is this menu. We'll talk about the menu items a little later in our session. So you can see my events, app integration, contacts, recordings, settings, logout. You can hide this menu if you want to. And if you come down, you'll see these three tabs. This is for the upcoming webinars. Any webinar that you have scheduled in the future will show up here. Right now we don't have none. So we'll create a new webinar which will show here. Then you can see the next tab, which is the past webinars which have already ended. You can convert these past webinars into replays if you want to using this button. So all the webinars that you have converted into replays will show up in the next tab. You have this button right here. You can see create webinar replay. So now let's go to upcoming webinars. Since we have none, we'll create new one. So put in a webinar title. We'll put demo video for now. Webinar time zone, since I'm in India right now, by default the time zone shows correct. You can whichever geographical location you are in, you can select your time zone accordingly. Then you can put a logo for your webinar, kind of an identification. So you can upload a picture if you want to. We recommend you put in tags for your webinar. So it indexes. It's easier for you to look for past webinars later. And then you can schedule. You can select a time. You see it's a pretty intuitive design. So right now we'll select say 3 p.m. So this is since we did not select a logo, this is by default. You will have an option of changing it later. So you can see the title of the webinar, the time. You can mouse over the time and see the time converted into your time zone. So here are the webinar details. In the previous screen, we had put in the webinar name. You might want to put in description. You can select a picture here. Again, let's select one. You'll see. So you will be able to edit it here. If you want to crop it, you can. We'll select the whole logo here for now. So here we go. It's uploaded now. You see the change. The logo has changed now. Now, during the webinar, if you want to keep your chat private, by default you can leave it here. If you want to make it public, you can switch this to public. The next switch is to redirect your attendees after the webinar. If you want to redirect them to a custom URL, you can select yes here and put in the custom URL, or else leave it at no. Now, if this is a free webinar, by default, it's a free webinar. If you want to make it paid, you switch it to paid and put in the amount. So this comes with a caveat. This is with the assumption that you have already connected your payment gateway, which you'll see in app integration. So here we have already connected our PayPal. You have MailChimp, GetResponse, different kind of applications that you can integrate here. You can see the whole list here. Now, this is the registration page. You see the URL here. We'll go to the registration page and see how does it look like right now. So it's showing the time left for the webinar. You can connect it. You can add it to your calendar. Multiple types of calendars that you can add it to. Further, to join in, right now registration form, we have only two fields, the name and email. If you want, you can modify this page here on the registration stack. So if you want the phone number too, okay, you can select the type of field, whether it's optional or not. We'll refresh the URL and you'll see the field being added. That's all on the go, live, on the fly. We delete it, come back, refresh the page, the field is gone. Magic. So app integration, you can connect, you can integrate multiple applications here. Right now we'll integrate MailChimp, for example. You select MailChimp, you select the list that you have already created of folks and save it. MailChimp has been integrated. Now, thank you page. If you have a custom thank you page where you want your participants to be redirected after they register, you can put a URL here. Publish template for the webinar. We give you an editor where you can create your template and publish it. So we'll show it later during our session here. So now let's go back to webinar coordinators. Okay. So this is a section where you add coordinators for your webinar. You add their email ID and name. As soon as you add the coordinator, an invite goes to the coordinator. So right now we added Shubham. The status is showing pending right now since Shubham hasn't accepted it. Once he accepts our invitation, this will change to active. Let's look at the email funnel now. This email funnel basically, if you want to send notifications at different intervals to your participants, this is the section where you come in and set it up. This first template that we are looking at goes 24 hours before your session starts. This is for 1 hour, 15 minutes, all similar kind of templates. So you will have to enable the email funnel function right on the top, and then for each individual email you can go and make them active or switch them on or off accordingly based on your requirement. So we will disable it for now. We go to the registration page, resources. So any webinar resource that you want to add, you will add it here. Let's look at an example. You come, select a file, and say save the presentation material. Get saved. You can see all the resources listed down here. We come to tracking now. As most of you would know, we can use the pixel codes here to track our participants. So registration, thank you page, webinar, we can put the pixel code at these three locations. So we come to the branding section. This section you will use to brand your webinar. So you can see the default logo here. We'll select something right now. We give you the option of cropping it. Once cropped, it gets uploaded. You can change the colors. There are a lot of other features that you will see once you start playing with the application. So pages, registration, you want to enable it. Confirmation, reminder, emails, you can enable. Webinar room, you can enable all these designs to go in there. Now, so this is our demo page. See, we change the color, we change the logo, and you know, the whole branding changes on the registration page. Now we go to the registrants. Since we don't have a registrant, we just created this webinar. We don't have a registrant, so we don't see none there. But we'll add, we'll register with my friend's name and his email ID, so that I can show you how the registrants will show up on that tab. So we have one registered user now. We'll go back and see the registrants. We'll refresh. Ding dong, it's right here. The status is showing pending for now, since since the registrant hasn't opened the custom URL that was created for the user. That's why the status here is showing pending. Once the URL is okay, here we go. So we are at the host screen right now. As you can see, the button right in the center. You can check your video, microphone, whatever you want to check. I come here live. Hello, how are you? Alright, so on this screen you see, so this is the registration page that an attendee will come and register themselves. So we'll use some credentials right now to register. The registration is done. Now we get our custom URL. We can use this custom URL to get into the webinar. Alright, hi. We are back to the presenter screen now. You can see right on the top, bottom if you see, you can see the time running. There is one presenter and one viewer right now. We can have live chat. So since we selected it's a private conversation. Okay, yeah, you see the message coming here. It's all on the fly. You come back, the message is going back and forth. So it's a live chat going on right now. It's a private chat between the presenter and the attendee. Alright, so now we are live on air. If you see on the bottom, someone was barking. So live on air. On the right hand side, you can see the chat window. As a host, I'm chatting back and forth with one of the attendees. You see the messages going back and forth on the fly. So on the presenter screen, you will see this button right on the top for sharing your screen. You can share an application window if you want to, or you can share the whole screen. So right now we are sharing an application window, which is our web browser right now. All our attendees, the attendees here, you can see the attendee can see the screen. You will have multiple screens if there are multiple presenters, co-hosts. So an attendee will see all the screens. You might see multiple screens right at the bottom. You can select any of the screens to make it the primary screen, and you have individual controls for each screen. You can switch off the speaker. Now, so on the presenter screen, you can see all these controls on the menu right at the top. So this control is to turn off your camera in between. You can switch off your microphone, make it full screen. these chat windows, if as a presenter you want to make any note, you can do it here. You want to have any individual chat with an individual attendee, you can do it from here. Alright, so now we'll end the webinar, and we go back to the thank you page where the attendee can rate the webinar right there. As soon as the rating is done, the presenter will see it on their screen. Here, since we ended our webinar, the video is getting uploaded there. It's all done. It will show up in the past webinars. You can see right here with one attendee and one registrant. The attendee gave us 5 stars. We can go and see the details of the attendees in there. Alright guys, thank you.
Alright, so hopefully that demo kind of cleared things up for you, so you understand exactly how the software works and the platform works, and why it's such a game changer in the webinar industry. So now we're going to talk about the front-end product and the OTOs. I don't have all the full details of the one-time offers yet, but you'll get full details on these as you're going through the sales process. Okay, so the front-end product, of course, is going to be the basic version of HQWebinar, and that's going to start at $47. It's going to go up to as high as $97. All right, during the launch phase. So the first OTO is going to be the Phoenix level of HQWebinar. That's going to start at $47 and go to $97. You'll get full details on that during the sales process when you're going through the funnel. The second OTO is the HQWebinar Avengers level, which is going to be $247 to $497. Again, these prices are going to change after the launch and during the launch. And then the third OTO is the HQWebinar Phantom, which is going to start at $47 and go as high as $97. Again, full details on these OTOs are going to be available once the product is launched. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about some of the bonuses I'll be giving you when you pick up your copy, when you pick up your copy of HQWebinar through my link. Now, what I like to do is I like to offer bonuses that are going to kind of go hand in hand with the product. I don't really care to. I mean, sometimes I'll add random bonuses just because I want to add some more value, but I like to add bonuses that will kind of help you utilize whatever you're purchasing. And what I've done is I've added a lot of bonuses that have to do with webinars and running webinars and making money with webinars. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of scroll through these real quick here. The products that you see here, and you can actually click. I'll leave a link in my blog review where you can actually click on, then go directly to this bonus page. But the products you're going to see here are going to come with either resale rights, master resale rights, or private label rights. So you can actually make money with these bonuses, okay? And with that, you can actually help, kind of recoup your costs of picking up HQWebinar. So we have different courses and ebooks and video courses, things like that are going to help you understanding and running webinars. How to make money with webinars, how to run webinars properly, how to get the best use out of webinars. And again, I'll have a link to these in my blog review, and you can go and click that and get all the information on these bonuses there. Okay. Now, the pros and cons of the platform. Now, as I said, it wouldn't be fair just to say how good something is. You need to if you're going to do reviews of products, you need to tell your audience exactly what's good and what's not so good. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything really bad about HQWebinar, because I don't think there is. I think it's perfect the way it is. There's just one con. The biggest pro I see is the fact that it's a decentralized platform, so you're not dependent upon a third-party server. Your webinars will never go down. You'll never have any issues, no lags, anything like that. And it's going to, as I said, it's going to change the game. It's going to flip the whole webinar industry upside down. The only con that I see, okay, in my opinion, is that if you're used to using YouTube, okay, you benefit from YouTube's SEO, okay, because Google owns YouTube and Google gives YouTube videos priority. If you're not broadcasting over YouTube Live and you're not hosting your replays on YouTube, you're not going to benefit from the SEO that Google's going to give you, from all the extra juice that you're going to get because YouTube is owned by Google. Okay, but that's a small price to pay for webinars that are absolutely clear and have no problems. Okay, so the biggest pro, decentralized. Okay, no third-party servers to deal with, no lags to deal with. The only con is that you're not going to benefit from the natural SEO that you get by using YouTube. Now, that of course has nothing to do with if you're using GoToWebinars, because those are hosted on their own servers. Okay, this is talking just about YouTube servers and the SEO you're going to get from YouTube videos. Okay, but again, the major benefit is the fact that it's decentralized, and you don't have to worry about anything, any lags, any drop in quality. Your webinar's going down. A server outage. Okay, no problems at all with those things. Okay, you're gonna have a seamless, perfect webinar experience every single time you run it. Okay, so with that, guys, I want to thank you very much for watching this review. When you're ready, go ahead and click that button down below. If you're on my review page, I'll have a buy now button down below, as well as a link down below. You can go ahead and grab your copy of HQWebinar right now. The HQWebinar is going to be doing they're going to pre-launch on the 25th of June, 2018 at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, and the full launch is going to happen on the 30th of June at 11 a.m. Okay, the launch is going to last until July 6th, and once the launch is over, okay, the prices are going to go up. Okay, as you saw, there's a price range from 47 to 97 for the front end product, and each OTL has its own price range. The prices are going to go up, and also the bonuses will be taken away after the launch. Okay, so I'll have the bonuses available during the pre-launch and the full launch, but once the launch ends, the bonuses are going to be gone. Okay, so if you want to get the best price and get the bonuses, you want to make sure you grab your copy. Grab yours as soon as possible. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.